Fire department operational concerns. The Newcastle Volunteer Fire Department has already observed increased fire activity and remains concerned about fuel conditions heading into July. During last year's community fireworks display, the firefighters experienced spot fires and operational concerns significant enough that portions of the display had to be stopped in order to address fire hazards created by the event. Vendor and public considerations. The department recognizes that fireworks vendors, local businesses, and residents require adequate notice when planning for holiday sales and celebrations. Early discussion allows vendors and residents to plan accordingly and avoid last-minute decisions that may create unnecessary hardship. I told the council too, we had a vendor that actually approached me via text
Can't make that decision.
and said that they were not in favor of selling fireworks, and this is one of the vendors, because they're concerned about safety issues with fire this year. So is there any further discussion? Any further discussion? Okay, hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed signify by saying nay. Motion carries. We're going to provide restrictions on fireworks this season due to safety concerns for the community.
Heavenly Father, we thank you for the opportunity to gather and serve our community tonight. Grant this council wisdom, patience, and understanding as we consider the matters before us. Help us lead with integrity, listen with respect, and make decisions that reflect the best interest of the people of Newcastle. We ask for your continued protection over our community and over those who serve and protect others each day. Guide us in our work and in our service to one another. Amen.
Pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good evening, everyone. Does the council entertain a motion to, I'd like to make an amendment to the agenda and add under committee and council member reports, item number 5, a description of an event that's going to take place this coming Sunday. Does the council entertain a motion to approve the event?
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion properly seconded. Is there any discussion? Is there any discussion? Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed signify by saying nay. Motion carries. The council entertain a motion to approve the minutes of the regularly scheduled meeting of May 18, 2026.
So moved.
We have a motion properly seconded. Is there any discussion? Is there any discussion? Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed signify by saying nay. Motion carries. Okay. Now we're moving into budget hearing as advertised. And ordinance number 5, series 2026 taxation. Appropriation resolution. Whereas on the first day of June 2026, the City of Newcastle, the budget making authority, prepared a city budget for the 2026-2027 fiscal year ending June 30th, 2027. Whereas such a budget was duly entered at large upon the records of this council, and a copy thereof was made available for public inspection at the city office of the city clerk, and whereas a notice of public hearing on such budget, together with a summary of said budget, was published in the Newsletter Journal, a legal newspaper published and of general circulation in the county on the 21st day of May, 2026. And whereas a public hearing was held on such budget at the time and place specified in said notice, at which time all interested parties were given an opportunity to be heard. And whereas following such public hearing, no alterations or revisions were made in such proposed budget. Now therefore be it resolved by the City Council and the city budget, that the city budget be adopted as the official city budget for the fiscal year ending June 30th, 2027. Be it therefore resolved that following appropriations as provided for be made for the fiscal year ending June 30, 2027, and the expenditures for each office, department, and spending agency be limited to the amount herein appropriated. Projected budget figures as follows. I just go with the total of each column. Total general fund expenditures will be $4,954,682. Water fund expenditures, total water fund expenditure will be $97,601. The total sewer fund expenditures, $1,394,973. Total garbage fund expenditures, $4,871,665, for total expenditures of $18,918,921. Does the council entertain a motion to approve the budget?
Your Honor, I move to approve the budget as read, with appropriation proceeds.
Second. You have a motion properly seconded. Is there any discussion? Is there any discussion? Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed signify by saying nay. Motion carries. Ordinance number 5, Series 2026. Ordinance providing for revenue to be raised by taxation with the City of Newcastle, Wyoming for the fiscal year ending June 30th, 2027. Be it ordained by the governing body of the City of Newcastle, Newcastle, Wyoming. Section 1. The revenue shall be raised by general taxation within the City of Newcastle, Wyoming by means of taxation levied upon taxable property within the corporate limits of said city, for the purpose of defraying expenses and paying liabilities of said city, as hereinafter set forth, to wit, general purpose 8 mills, redemption of bonds none, bond interest none, total to be raised by taxation 8 mills. Section 2 is hereby declared that an emergency exists and the passage of this ordinance is necessary to preserve the public health, peace, safety, or welfare, and that the required public meeting shall be suspended in accordance with Wyoming Statute 15-1-115, and that this ordinance shall be in full force and effect from and after its passage, and upon proclamation by the mayor pursuant to Wyoming Statute 15-1-116. Does the council entertain a motion to pass ordinance number 5, Series 2026?
So moved.
Second.
You have a motion properly seconded. Is there any discussion? Is there any discussion? Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed signify by saying nay. Motion carries. Oh, yes. Council, you need your signatures. All right. Moving on to nomination for recognition, does the council have any nominations for recognition? Any nominations for recognition? I have a nomination for recognition. I would like to nominate the Newcastle, Wyoming Veterans Group. They did a groundbreaking ceremony today at Pinnacle Bank property over on the edge of town by the four-way. And it's been a long time coming. They've been working on that project for 8 years. And it was a really wonderful event. And I heard about it about 10 minutes before it happened, so I scrambled over there. I just live in the edition. So I was able to get over there. And it was really uplifting. And I think it's great that that group worked so hard to recognize our veterans. And this council's seen it kind of ebb and flow the project over the last 8 years, and it was just really great. So I think I would like to have a certificate made for every individual that's on in that.
I just have a question, was that like a last minute thing?
No, they've had a plan for at least a couple of weeks. They told me it was in the paper. I didn't see it in the paper.
I didn't either.
I didn't see it. Or I would have been there.
I would have been.
We can come to the next one.
Well, how many groundbreaking things are you going to have?
As many as it takes.
Okay, what did you break ground on, what are you gonna do?
The first plan is, of course, always subject to change, is to put up the 3 pillars of light that you're going to be able to see coming down from the north that will shoot into the sky. That's number 1.
Thank you.
You're
Sounds
welcome.
good.
It's going to be beautiful.
One of the most remarkable things about the whole project is there's like 7 different businesses, or maybe 8, that donated their time and their labor to help with moving forward with the project. So it just makes me proud to be part of this community where we have people that are willing to put forth such an effort and donate their time. So I think it's a really wonderful thing. Does anybody have any other nominations for recognition? Hearing none, we'll go ahead and move on to certificates of recognition, which there are none tonight. And moving on to citizens business verbal, item 1, Gordon Stensaker, South Summit Avenue path. You can speak from there, or you can.
I just didn't do it from there.
Yes, sir.
So I'll try to make this short.
Sleep.
Okay, I understand that the council has proposed a bike path on the south side of 7th Avenue, and it is partially funded from what I understand. And most of us are against it, except for 2 people that I talked to. One said he could care less because it doesn't affect him, and the other one's a rental. But the bike path, it's going to have to be on the south side, and because of the curb stop and the meters and water line, of course, it's going to have to go on the very north side of the easement, which will put it right in front of our homes and driveways. In some instances, it's going to butt right up according to where the curb stops is, and the meters, it's going to go right behind these short driveways. These houses were constructed in 1970, late 70s, early 80s, from what I understand, when Summit was a highway, and I guess nothing was taken into account, for easement. I don't know what the easement is, but I think it's around 45 feet. Yes. Let's see if I can pull up my track here. If it's constructed, there are 11 driveways and 1 street that they'll have to cross. And to do that, and they're all elevated, And so if you're gonna build that there, you're either gonna have to fill the easement with dirt, you know, to the height of the driveways, or it's gonna be like a roller coaster. Not only that, either way, you're gonna have to be replacing culverts and, you know, and probably building up the easement. It's gonna be costly, believe me. And right behind some of the driveways, you know, it's causing a hazard because like on, you know, any weekday or any day for that matter, residents leaving for work or, you know, run errands, you know, you're gonna have that bike path. Most of us have grandchildren. I have grandchildren. And a lot of us have, others have children that I've talked to and possibly grandchildren. You know, once it's constructed, they're gonna be riding their little tricycles or something up and down that street. And some of that stuff, one guy's pickup is gonna, his back end of his big Ford's gonna be, according from what I figure, it's gonna be hanging over the pathway. Once it's constructed, they're gonna be riding their little tricycles or something up and down that street. And some of that stuff, one guy's pickup is gonna, his back end of his big Ford's gonna be, according from what I figure, it's gonna be hanging over the pathway. You get little kids riding up and down on their bicycles, you know, they're gonna play because it'd be a nice place to go, grandchildren and children for that matter. Somebody backs over, I mean, you got 11 driveways, something's gonna happen. Somebody's gonna back over and possibly kill or injure one of these children. Or somebody, hardly anybody uses that walkway. Me and my neighbor, we watched all day. One day we saw one person go down Summit Avenue with a dog. And the most we've ever seen was maybe 4 or 5, hardly anybody. You know, and this is the only pathway constructed in Newcastle that goes in front of a residential area. And it's not safe, especially when it's right behind the driveways. You know, you have 11 driveways. And I'd ask the council member, how would you like to have a pathway run across your yard, your driveway, with your children, you know? I mean, it's something to think about, you know? I believe it's a liability for the city. And, but, you know, and then some of us have sprinkler systems. We've been taking care of the easement, making it look nice. One of my neighbors he's on his second lawnmower. He cut the whole south side, I mean, not the whole south side, but the west end, yeah. And, you know, he's on his own expense. He's on his second big lawnmower. You know, when he takes care of the vacant lots on the north side, and once it's constructed, you know, we're gonna have to move our sprinkler system. Nobody's gonna take care of that on either side of the pathway. It's just gonna turn to weeds. I know the city won't take care of it. I know the walkway, pathway on 16th, the only time it gets cut is, it seems like if somebody complains. I walk it all the time with my dogs, and you know, and we're gonna have to move our sprinkler systems once it's in. You're not gonna pay for that, so we're gonna have to, you know, dig up our sprinkler systems and reroute them, which is an issue, and it'll be,
Weren't those sprinkler systems just put in recently when they redid the water line also? on South
no,
Side?
they were in there prior. Many, the last 20 years, 20 years, yeah, they've been there for a long time.
They did all that.
Yeah, they were, but I'm about ready to conclude this, but, you know, I guess I'll just end this. Even though the path is partially funded, you know, it seemed to me that the money would be better spent than maybe chipping Summit Avenue, you know, so it doesn't deteriorate anymore. Or, you know, use it to repair the walkway on 16th, which is busting all up. Or, you know, maybe the money is just better spent on the infrastructure of Newcastle. It's got so many problems. You drive around, I mean, the streets and curb and gutter, I mean, it's in terrible, it's in shambles. And to waste money on this walkway that doesn't, you know, nobody uses it hardly at all, it doesn't make sense. You know, it's just gonna disrupt our lives. And if you're gonna build it, you know, 'cause I believe this is the second time we've heard about this. And I hope you guys are bound determined to do it under any circumstances. If you're gonna do it, it'd be better off if it was constructed on the south side, where it's nice and flat, you know? You still gotta cross the street, no matter what, and then it's still a fact that you gotta cross 11 driveways, you know? And, it's a liability, I believe, for, you know, once I conclude my, whatever it is, you know, that's it. I hope, you know, I hope you take in consideration what, you know, what the residents there feel. But none of us were contacted. No, I mean, we heard this proposal through hearsay, and the reason was because it connected. Well, that's no reason. It's absolutely no reason at all. You know, don't connect nothing. It's just, you know, it's a waste of money. It's a waste of city's money, and it should be spent for better use. You know. That's all I got.
Thank you.
Thank you for bringing your concern to the council. Does anybody else have anything to add?
I'd like to add that it's not a safe road. The speed limit is 30 miles. It's not enforced. My husband takes care of the lawn across the road from us. He finds all kinds of little Mickey whiskey bottles, and he's brought that to the attention of the police, and they say, well, they can't do anything because he can't catch it. But it's not monitored. We've had our mailbox ran over several times. Our neighbor has had his completely wiped out, so the cars are not watching what they're doing. And having, as Gordy said, children on that sidewalk is very frightening.
The money we are getting for this, is it specified by the state that you have to use it for the bike path?
I believe that the money that we are getting is specific to the project. So, and then this project's been in the works off and on for like a decade. Probably. I remember when I still worked at the city shop, there was an intern that was shooting grades for the, Dixon kid.
Mr. Mayor,
For Baldwin.
this has been part of our master plan since 2012 for pathway projects.
I hope you guys take into consideration, you know, the liability and the path that it's, when it's constructed, you know, right behind all these driveways, you know, for even people walking their dogs, let alone children, and, you know, for very easily could be a serious accident or injury or death, for that matter. It's an issue. And most people on Summit Avenue do not want it.
Thank you, Mr. Spencecker. So I guess I have a question for you. I mean, do you think if there was a pathway there that more people would use the pathway?
No, because nobody uses the other ones. I walk my dogs on 16th all the way around, so does Sandy, and others would very seldom see anybody on them. Very seldom. Many times I've walked at any time of the day with my two dogs, I see nobody. Once in a while, you may pass one person, but these bike paths, other than one that goes down towards the school, I always see children on it. But the one on 16th, and I'm sure the one in front of, that's going to propose in front of our homes, it's going to be the same. Nobody's going to use it. And they say that, well, the children needed to go to school, but all the children live behind us. And all they have to do is hit the street or alley and walk. I mean, they can go, east and walk right to the other path and walk right down to the school. There's no reason for them to walk on Summit Avenue, walkway.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, it's called a pathway, right? But it's a sidewalk, so it'd be a city sidewalk, right? And there's sidewalks all over our community.
True. But, you know, you got all these new houses over there that are built and nice homes. I don't see no sidewalks there, no curb and gutter. I mean,
No pavement.
no pavement.
Well, I mean, I'm disappointed about that. I live on one of the unpaved roads in our neighborhood. And,
I would hate to let my little kid drive on a bike path by there with the cars driving as fast as they do on South Summit. I mean, South Summit Raceway.
And even though it's
it's a
sidewalks,
safety concern.
yeah, even though it's a sidewalk, you still have a liability of 11 driveways, you know, people backing up. I mean, someone's gonna eventually good possibility that something bad's gonna happen.
If they put the pathway on the south side, you also have to worry about railroad. And yes, it is flat.
railroad.
You don't-
Go ahead.
You have to have a certain amount of feet between the railroad too.
Where did the
To
railroad
the
property
sidewalk.
end? I mean, this would be right in the ditch, and I don't know the law that specifies how far a walkway or a bike path has to be from the thoroughfare, so.
Does anyone know?
I'm not 100% on the setbacks, but I also, Greg, has this even gotten to public comment or anything yet?
Mr. Mayor, actually, tonight I was going to report, we're going to have a public meeting with public input and comment June 23rd at 6 p.m. here at the council chambers.
Could I ask where this is going, how long is it?
It goes,
All the way from the summit, from,
Mr. Mayor,
It's
it
good.
goes from Duff Avenue to Highway 85.
So we kind of box in
It
Great
boxes
Addition
in.
and then tie into Duff Avenue to go to the school.
We are gonna build it on top of the pipe that we put in 2 years ago.
On top of the easement, on top of the water line.
It's going to go next to the road.
We've been there for 45 years, and they've dug it up 4 times, I think.
Well,
And we're gonna put a sidewalk on top of that.
Well, I understand, sir, but I was actually kind of proud of that because I worked for the city crew and for Mr. Johnson, Mr. Johnson down the corner there. We were on breaks there 5 or 6 times probably while I was with the city.
Mr. Mayor,
9 times, okay, so maybe I was there 5 or 6 times.
Okay.
But anyway, we replaced the line now, so it should be a sound line, and that was kind of a win for us. So it's good to have good infrastructure in the ground, and we shouldn't have to worry about it for a long time. I mean, I think PVC is good for what, useful life, like 50 years or 60 years.
in excess of 50
So
Yeah.
we're hoping that we don't have to go back there again anytime soon, but I understand your concerns.
You know, people wonder where the money went, because for years, I don't think any money's been put away for the infrastructure, for the aging infrastructure of this community, you know, and everybody wonders, where'd the money go? And, you know, and now you got money, but I don't know.
Well, Mr. Stensacker, so that's another thing, is like, since I've been on the council, and this council here before you was on the council, we have a capital improvements plan now. We've adjusted our rates appropriately for what we have to pay. We've done a lot of things to try to improve the situation that we're in. Because I do agree with you, we were in dire shape, and it's frustrating for us up here to deal with the problems that we have been gifted, you know, through years of neglect. So we're trying to do something about it.
And I agree, and you can see it too. You guys are making an effort, you know, to improve the city. This city doesn't have much to offer for tourism or anything, but other than that, you know, I lost my track of thought.
You're talking about the dire situation we're
But-
in and how
Yeah,
the-
but you gotta, you know, we gotta make an improvement, but I can't see spending the money for that walkway when you've got many other improvements to make.
Well, and then sort of like a lot of the funding that we put in for is specific to the type of project that we're working on, right? So like, we have a plan since 2012 that we're trying to do improvements and pathways around the community to try to tie the whole community together, right? And so we were working on a project to tie in the west side of town over toward Saddle subdivision. But then due to inflation and a lot of the things that we have going on, that project ended up coming in way over bid, and it was a nightmare. So we shifted gears and actually, you know, shifted to this project. And it was just a way to tie in all the sidewalks in that area, you know, so like, I do understand, like,
time to it.
Yeah.
I personally would love to have a sidewalk in front of my house and curb and gutter, and,
There's no way you can put curb and gutter there though, I mean,
well, I'm not saying that we put curb and gutter in front of your place, but like, I would like to have a paved road and, sidewalk and curb and gutter in front of my home, you know?
but you need to talk, those of us who live along Summit Avenue, we don't wish that. That's the bottom line, you know?
Well, yeah, you made it very clear.
Is it gonna be even with the road, or are they gonna follow the ground along there? Because if you get up as high as the road and you're on a 4-to-1, then your whole front yard is gonna be,
You're gonna have to put a retaining.
I don't know the specific engineering and everything that's going into the project right now, but, we do have a hard date for you to come and make public comment again, so June 23rd at
6 PM.
6 PM here in the council chambers. You could come and I do understand that you're adamantly opposed to it. So,
The new store. This is the one-stop shop. We have a pharmacy. We have a bootlegger's liquor. The deli, the food that you can get at a lunchtime is so amazing. The coffee shop. Certain Friday mornings, there's 30 people sitting here in all these chairs. This is the hub for people to come and visit, have their coffee, have their donuts. It's amazing what this area has done. Totally amazing.
Most of us are.
I went down to the highway department there, my old buddies, I used to work there. And they all looked at me like, when I had mentioned the bike path behind our house, and they all looked like, I mean, what the hell are you talking about?
so
So that, they didn't know what's going on at all. They said, we haven't seen a thing.
So, some more good news though, is, we actually have a project that's on, to repave from Duff Avenue to the highway, right?
Mr. Mayor, if I may.
Yeah.
We do. It's gonna be, we're planning on mill and overlay in conjunction with YDOT reconstruction of highway, or County Road 1A, or Old Highway 85. We requested that we include our portion of the mill and overlay on their project, and they agreed to do it. So that portion of the street is going to be milled and overlaid.
And you're gonna have a new street in front of your place.
I have one more comment, you know,
Yes,
the council, seems to me that this is gonna happen whether we like it or not. And that, I mean, even if we have a meeting on the 26th, it's no matter what input we give you, it's still gonna happen. In my mind, from what I'm hearing, it's a done deal. Is that true?
No, it's not a done deal. You're welcome to make public comment.
Well, was it gonna do any good?
I don't know, I guess if you come and make public comment and it seems that the majority of people are opposed to the project, then the council definitely entertain. I don't think that, you know, it's a pendulum in motion all the time. That's the reason we have public comment.
Right. But it's still up to you guys. You guys are gonna vote on it, correct?
Well,
You know, I mean, it's still gonna be you guys. It doesn't matter what we say, it's gonna be everybody sitting up there that's gonna say, yeah, well,
I can tell you one thing, it mattered to me what you said.
what's that, sir?
That very much mattered to me what you said. I enjoyed what you said and I listened.
That's great, I
So we're
appreciate
gonna
it.
have another meeting on the 23rd and we're, hopefully you'll get some more of your Summit people to live along Summit.
Hard to get anybody up here. I tried now, with up and down that block, I spent,
Yeah, I know, it's too bad you can't beat people.
if we don't let it, what happens to
but it's tough to get, you know, a lot of people are on vacation, a lot of people, you know, some people just, they got no faith in, you know, government. They just, a lot of them think, well, it's gonna happen anyway, so I go.
Mr. Stensecker, this is grassroots government right here, and all of us live in this community.
Right.
So we care about this community and we want to do the right thing by the people, and that's the reason that we were elected. So
And I understand
it's
that.
not like national government where we talk about the big topic issues. We're talking about streets, we're talking about infrastructure, we're talking about ways to make our community
Right,
better.
and I understand that.
Yeah, so we're not all set in stone, and we value your opinion.
But it's really hard to get it, if we could only get like us three up there, and we can't get nobody else to, to come to the meeting, and all you have is the input of us three.
So if you feel so strongly about this, Mr. Stensacker, then you're gonna need to go to your neighbors, get
Good luck
them
with
to
that.
show up on the 23rd, and then they
How
can
about a
make all
petition?
the
That's what I was gonna suggest.
Yeah, I had one neighbor, I talked to him, he lives way back in that nice home, and he was rude, and I was angry, but I didn't, I was civil. I said, he doesn't care about his neighbors, and it's not our fault that our houses were built too close to the street. He said, it doesn't affect me, and I don't care, he said. I don't care what happens. And that don't help us any.
No.
And then we have a rental that said, it doesn't affect us, we rent this place. The owner lives in, she's in Oregon. There's some issues, and it's gonna be hard to get enough people up here, get a petition going or something. We gotta do something because we don't want it. It's just,
All right, I appreciate what you had to say, Mr. Stensacker. So the 23rd at 6 PM here in the council.
23rd or 26th.
23rd. 23rd at 6 PM.
23rd at 6 PM?
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, sir. We'll go ahead and move on to citizens business verbal. Item number 2, Tasha Townsend, the 20th annual Fall Festival.
This is the 20th, going to be the 20th annual Newcastle Fall Festival. I've been in charge of it, I believe, for the last 15 years. So it keeps getting bigger and bigger. I'm just here to ask for support for that event. That goes in conjunction with the Newcastle Shrine Show that's also their 20th as well. So hopefully happening September 19th-ish, if I have my dates correct.
I think that the event application's already passed on my desk, and
Right, because
it's a wonderful event. We look forward to it every year. You do a great job. We really appreciate it. So I'm excited to go with my family this year. So I think you have the council's full support.
Most appreciate the new bathroom open for the White House.
I know that's been a long time coming. That's a nice
It's
facility.
beautiful, isn't it? Now I just have to rearrange a little bit, but it definitely helps out being more in the top section. So I'm going in the middle of the park too. So I don't know. You can hardly see it. You just pull it into my
I haven't been able to see it yet, but I'm excited. Public Works Supervisor sent me some pictures, and I was excited to see it.
Tasha, do you go to the Newcastle Recreation Board at any time and apply for funds?
I have the canvas on me, and I usually don't with Fall Festival.
Oh, okay. Madness on Main, you do.
Does anybody have any questions? Council, any questions for?
Thank you for doing it. I enjoyed it.
It's such a wonderful. Said it seems to get bigger every year, and it's a good time.
It's fun doing it with a car show and then having all of the car connoisseurs come up and, go through the food vendors and all the little knickknacks that everybody has. And a lot of the vendors that I've seen there since before I took it every year. And it's like, hey, let me bring my friend, or let me bring my daughter-in-law who does this, wood blocks, So it just keeps getting bigger and bigger, and it's nice, and it's something that brings in the community more. So,
We're looking forward to it. Great job.
thank you.
Keep up the good work here.
Thanks.
Thank you, Tasha.
Thank you, guys.
Moving on to citizens business and writing, item number 140, Pelham Planning Board appointment application. So, how long have you been running this ad? Or did we run it for a while? Okay. So, Corey Dillon,
Keeps there.
put in for the Newcastle Planning Board for a 3-year term. Is it okay if I read this narrative? Reasons why you think you'd be a good board member, explain why you would like to be a board member. So he wants the planning board position in order to get things moving along in a timely manner. I want to serve my community. I was born and raised in Weston County. I have a lot of municipal experience, and he understands the system. So I actually saw Mr. Pellin at the groundbreaking ceremony for the Veterans Memorial. So, and he had voiced that he was interested in serving in the position. So, being that we don't have any other applicants, does council entertain a motion to appoint Corey Pellin on the Newcastle Planning Board?
I move to appoint Corey Pellin on Newcastle Planning.
We have a motion properly seconded. Is there any discussion? Is there any discussion? Any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed signify by saying nay. Motion carries. Corey Pellin will serve a 3-year term on the Newcastle Planning Board. Does that 3 years start now? I don't know how the planning board works. Okay. So, for Tanner, do you mark your calendar? Okay. All right. Moving on to old business. Item number 1, ordinance number 4, series 2026, third and final reading. So ordinance number 4, 2026, an ordinance amending and repealing chapter 26, water, sewage, and sewage disposal of the Newcastle, Wyoming municipal code. Thank you, folks. Have a good evening. Be it ordained by the City Council of the City of Newcastle, Weston County, Wyoming, Chapter 26, Section 26-21, be repealed in its entirety, and Chapter 26 of the Newcastle, Wyoming Municipal Code be amended, reading in its entirety as follows. Please see attached Chapter 26 ordinances. The council entertain a motion to approve ordinance number 4, series 2026.
Mr. Mayor, I move we pass ordinance number 4, 2026 on its third reading.
Second.
We have a motion properly seconded. Is there any discussion? Is there any discussion? Is there any discussion? Hearing none, thank you, Water Committee and Public Works Supervisor for working so diligently to get this done. And it's a pleasure to get it passed. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed signify by saying nay. Motion carries. Passed ordinance number 4, series 2026 on third reading. Okay, moving on to item number 2, American Legal Publishing and Codification. Council, I think it would behoove the council to schedule a workshop when we could all get together and really dig in. This is something that I don't think that we're going to handle in a regularly scheduled meeting. So I believe that we should table the American Legal Publishing and Codification until we can all meet to conduct a workshop and work on everybody's questions and concerns with the current draft of the Newcastle Code of Ordinances.
I agree.
So as the council, we can work together with Clerk Haggerty and try to find a day that will work for everyone. And hopefully in the near future. I know it gets busy in the summer.
We got to the 26th, but it is July or something like that.
Yeah, the 31st.
31st. Okay.
Yeah, she got a hard line, 31st. So as the council entertain a motion to table until we schedule a workshop to do the work. Second. We have a motion properly seconded to table. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed signify by saying nay. Motion carries. We'll table it until we can all get together.
In addition to the weekly printed version of the newsletter journal, we also promote our community and share important information on our award-winning website, newslj.com, and in our weekly email newsletter, Nuke Now. We also connect with readers through various social media platforms and invite you to check us out on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. You can even take a look at a recent meeting of the City Council, School Board, or County Commission on our YouTube channel. We do hope that you will go to newslj.com and subscribe today, and we look forward to making all of our great content available to you. But regardless of your level of support, we thank you from the bottom of our hearts for doing your part to preserve a free and independent local press.
We should have put pizza in that motion.
In that motion.
Yes.
Oh, well, let's do it again.
Moving on to old business, item number 3, RCAC Community Coordinator. It seems that we've had another application come in. So, I mean, the cat's out of the bag. So I felt like we could, how do I even say that? Because I don't want to dive myself out that
You can just state that since it's something that needs to be dealt with for council executives.
Okay, so anyway, everyone in attendance, we have a personnel executive session scheduled for the end of this meeting where we could possibly take into account.
This would have to be a different one.
Oh, we'll have to call in a different one.
On a different meeting, yeah, because we already have that executive session set for a different matter.
It is in reference to personnel.
Yeah, that's, I think it would probably have to be the next meeting.
Okay, excellent. Actually, that's disappointing to hear, council, but I'll take your advice. Yeah. Okay, so we will have to have another committee meeting, personnel committee, between now and the next council meeting, and then you guys can come with a recommendation for.
And we're hoping we could probably get the interview done tonight, but not all of us to get together and other meetings that were going on.
So, council, if we run into a hang-up where not everyone can convene and we have something that's timely, I don't see a problem with calling in a pinch hitter from another committee if we need to conduct an interview. So just something for future reference if we need to get something done. I've sat on different committees during my tenure on city council where we needed 3 people to be in representation. So I'm not opposed to that personally, and if it makes it a little bit more fluid with matters that we're dealing with, I don't see that that's an issue. So, yeah. Just remember that for next time. Okay, so RCAC community coordinators, does the council have anything else to add before we move on to the agenda? Hearing nothing, okay, we'll move on to new business. Item number 1, ESRI agreement.
is information that I sent the council. This is regarding the GIS. And it doesn't look like that agreement expires until August, but this was information that the assessor, Kara, asked me to make sure the council was aware of.
Okay, so do we're in the county-wide GIS program?
Mr. Mayor, yes, actually, we're Kirk County, Weston County, and Niobrara County are coming together with this. They offered, the ESRI, the city of Newcastle, we use it very extensively, and we share the cost. Every entity that has stuff in it, I believe Sundance can get maps on it and so on and so forth. If I recall, we haven't been able to find it, but the last time we talked, or last time I saw a bill on this, it was around $1,500 is what the city paid for a rather robust mapping system that we've used extensively, still use extensively every day.
So, through my day job, there's actually a request for proposal at the state level where the state of Wyoming is trying to do an asset management program, including GIS mapping for the entire state of Wyoming. So, and it sounds like the state is going to incur a lot of the costs. So it might be something that we can end up looking at in the future as it progresses to determine if we want to be part of the statewide program. I don't believe that there's a fee associated with it right now. The state was just going to pay for it. So just food for thought for the council. So thank you for the information, Clerk Haggerty. Is there any questions on the ESB licensing agreement?
Can you just tell me, Greg, what it is? I mean, what do you do with it? It's a mapping, but what do you?
What if I show you?
Oh, I'm sorry. I don't know.
Councilwoman McCauley, it is a fantastic tool for municipalities to use.
But you tell me that. I don't know. I still don't know.
So
Sorry.
it's called GIS.
Sorry that I put you through this.
Global Information System.
Okay.
And you actually plot every piece of infrastructure. We even put trees, yellow green
Well, I've
ones.
seen that. So
Yeah.
that's what we're talking about.
And then the green manholes, and so each dot on that map represents a piece of our
I
infrastructure.
understand that.
And then you can put in all kinds of useful information as far as the age, probability of failure, like you can use it for planning, we can use it for our capital improvements planning, we can use it for all kinds of stuff. Plus, one of the great things about GIS is it takes away institutional knowledge. So whether you have like an operator that has been with the system for 20 plus years, like some people in this room here, that know where every valve is or know where every line is and what it's made of, right? You can show to a lay person. So one of the great ways that we've used it in the past, right, is we had our meter reader break his ankle. Greg could hand a new person the tablet and they could walk right up to a meter and read it, you know, and be able to see it in real time. So it's just a wonderful tool for cities. And
So then the city shares that with the county?
Yes, correct.
The cost.
The cost is shared between the three counties. There are multiple entities sharing the $30,000 cost.
All right, that's all I need. I understand.
It's an incredible tool.
sorry, Councilman.
It's what we're basing all of our asset management on, all of our water line tables,
Yeah.
all of our assets.
I get it.
Yeah. It's a powerful tool and very critical. We use it on a daily basis.
Bring up the councilwoman's living room.
I don't have that capability.
Thank you.
Okay, is there any other
Thank you.
questions about GIS or Esri?
Talk about approving this, or do you
Yeah.
guys want to discuss it the next one? Is there a place for me to sign on that?
Oh, we need to approve licensing for the county.
And then this year, the quote that the assessor gave was $1,634.67.
Right.
And are we paying that to the county?
That would be, we will either be invoiced directly from, directly from the ESRI company, or the county will pay, and then we'll have to reimburse them our portion.
So, Mr. Mayor, when we first looked at GIS 10 years ago, we were looking at spending $20,000 per year ourselves. This option came up where the counties went together, purchased it together, offered it to the cities. So instead of paying $20,000, we're paying $16,000. Or instead of $30,000, we're paying $1,600.
So it's the tool that we've been using, and this fee comes up yearly, and we just need to re-up the fee for the tool that we're already using. 1,600 bucks for 3 years. Well, that's a great deal. So, does the council entertain a motion to approve the Esri agreement for my signature?
So moved. Second.
We have a motion properly seconded. Is there any discussion? Is there any discussion?
Yeah, sorry, council. One of the things I noticed on this, there is a signature line for Weston County. There is not for the city of Newcastle, so we'll have to, did you have? Oh, okay, perfect. Maybe I didn't. Oh, there it is. It's written in. Never mind.
So Stacy, it's a great tool, and it works really good for us. So with that, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed signify by saying nay. Motion carries. Thanks, council. Okay, moving on to item number 2 under new business, fireworks safety and fire conditions briefing. So Newcastle Volunteer Fire Department fireworks safety and fire conditions briefing, City of Newcastle, July 4th, 2026 considerations. Purpose, this briefing provides current fire weather and drought considerations for the Newcastle area and encourages early discussion regarding fireworks within the City of Newcastle during the upcoming Independence Day holiday. Current conditions and weather outlook, Newcastle and Weston County continue to experience dry conditions despite recent storm activity. While thunderstorms and rainfall are forecast during the upcoming week, these systems appear scattered and may not provide widespread or lasting moisture to fuels. Forecasts indicate warming temperatures returning into the upper 70s and 80s, with thunderstorms also capable of producing gusty winds and lightning. Short periods of rainfall do not necessarily eliminate wildfire risk, as fine fuels such as grass and light vegetation can dry rapidly under warm and windy conditions. Fire department operational concerns. The Newcastle Volunteer Fire Department has already observed increased fire activity and remains concerned about fuel conditions heading into July. During last year's community fireworks display, the firefighters experienced spot fires and operational concerns significant enough that portions of the display had to be stopped in order to address fire hazards created by the event. Vendor and public considerations. The department recognizes that fireworks vendors, local businesses, and residents require adequate notice when planning for holiday sales and celebrations. Early discussion allows vendors and residents to plan accordingly and avoid last-minute decisions that may create unnecessary hardship or confusion. The recommendation, based upon current conditions, recent fire activity, and uncertainty regarding sustained moisture, the Newcastle Volunteer Fire Department recommends that the City of Newcastle begin formal consideration of fireworks restrictions now and establish an early decision timeline regarding whether fireworks will be permitted within city limits for the 2026 Independence Day holiday.
This place is full of, you can tell the people that like to be with old people because they really take care of you good and are very kind.
Twice a day, every day, activities, people have an organized activity that's always interesting.
Everybody loves to play bingo. We play it 3 times a week here. We also have ceramics that you can paint. Really pleasant to live here. It's a good place to be.
Volunteer Fire Department recommends that the City of Newcastle begin formal consideration of fireworks restrictions now and establish an early decision timeline regarding whether fireworks will be permitted within city limits for the 2026 Independence Day holiday. This recommendation is offered in the interest of public safety, operational preparedness, and a fairness to vendors and residents alike. Signed by Fire Chief Kinney. I also received a text message from a concerned citizen this afternoon that was really opposed to us having fireworks during the season. They're concerned about the possibility of fire. And this person, the citizen, was also a vendor. So they're okay with not selling fireworks this season in the spirit of public safety. Then it sounded like the Chamber of Commerce is entertaining a drone show.
It's a laser show.
Laser show?
Yeah, the drone show they couldn't afford. So in lieu of, they're going to do a laser show. It's going to be on a 30-foot screen, laser smoke. They're going to do patriotic symbols, music. From what I've seen, it looks like it's going to be a good alternative to what we've done in the past and still give the residents an opportunity to celebrate the holiday.
So it's all about the community getting together and celebrating the 4th of July, as a community. So whether it be a laser show or with, fire brands that burn at like 3,000 degrees Fahrenheit, when we have dry conditions, it seems like we would still be able to celebrate in a grand fashion without actually lighting up fireworks, which I know will be a disappointment to some people. It is the recommendation of our fire chief and the fire department that the council provide restrictions this year.
Yeah, and I really struggled with putting this together and whether or not I wanted to do it this early. But given what we've seen already this year with weather, We're projected to be in the 90s by the end of the week with scattered storms. I don't see it getting any better to where these light flashy fuels are going to be at a place to where we would feel comfortable in the city letting them do it. And with the vendors, giving them an opportunity if they have or have not ordered, giving them an opportunity so we're not blindsiding them at the very last minute. So I just wanted to open it up to the council's
For discussion.
Yep.
Okay, does the council have any discussion on this matter? Any discussion?
Fireworks were already, they're kind of important, aren't they? I mean, fireworks are the 4th of July. Just, when you take a good fireworks show in the laser show, I like the fireworks. I just had to mention that. It's just so traditional.
It was really disappointing last year when the hillside got set ablaze and we had to make up
That's bad news. I didn't say we should go ahead with it. I just expressed my opinion. Okay.
Well, I understand, because I've been part of the council when we had to provide restrictions for fireworks, and it never feels good. So with regret, does the council entertain a motion to restrict fireworks this season?
What if it starts raining?
Would
You gonna lift it?
Well, I guess.
Who can predict the weather?
Can't, but
But
they're on the.
We had rain last year up through mid part of June, and then the rain quit. We've had that several times, and we've cut the hillside down below. We actually pre-burned some of that down below.
But I'm just saying, if it starts raining and we get a good rain and saturation, it could be
We
changed.
send a lot of people of our crew that are not only a dedicated crew that's just for the firework crew. We know that we're gonna be running around town because people are not very careful with their stuff when they go somewhere. They go in the air, there's no control when the wind comes up. We're chasing them all around town and in the county.
Yeah, I've been there.
And with what we see right now, everything matching up pretty damn close.
I just said if. I didn't say it's gonna, I just said if.
So you guys are recommending we just cut fireworks, period.
I think it's gonna be, we've talked about it for a while. We don't wanna do it, but I think with everything that's looking right now, I think it's best interest.
There has been an elevated fire. I watched the whole state of Nebraska burn down when they attended a training a month ago. So I understand you guys' concerns, so.
We're getting worse winds than we've ever had before. We get
That's
70,
a fact.
90 mile an hour winds, and we are not gonna get ahead of that winds that way.
Okay, make a motion.
Does the council entertain a motion? Does the council entertain a motion to provide restrictions on fireworks this season?
Second.
So we have a motion properly seconded. Is there any further discussion?
I want to talk about what Darren said some more. I think that if the rains do come in, July 3rd, and we're 2nd and 3rd, and we're looking pretty good here, maybe we can restrict, remove the restrictions and let these kids do something, I don't know.
Well, the vendors have not ordered.
Oh, they have not, you sure?
Well, I don't know that, but are they gonna set up a stand on the?
Yeah, you're right. It'll be too late. Never mind.
They'll still set them up and they'll sell them and then run them at New Year's. People will buy them for New Year's.
That's cool, I like that.
But that's what the motion
We're
is. We
making a
don't
big
want the
problem.
vendors
We're making a big problem for him.
a stand, is
Well,
that
that's up to the
correct?
vendors.
This is giving them an option
Oh,
to
okay.
not,
Okay, gotcha.
to not place that order and
Well, that was already the same.
Yeah, but setting up a stand.
It's a gamble every year.
You know both vendors real well, and you know who they are.
I know who they are. I don't know them real well, but I know.
I mean, I
Just gotta
agree
get the
with,
information
we
to them
don't
as soon as
want to
possible.
say.
Like I told the council too, we had a vendor that actually approached me
We don't
via
know.
text
Can't make that decision.
and said that they were not in favor of selling fireworks, and this is one of the vendors, because they're concerned about safety issues with fire this year. So is there any further discussion? Any further discussion? Okay, hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed signify by saying nay. Motion carries. We're going to provide restrictions on fireworks this season due to safety concerns for the community and the fire department's recommendation. Moving on to committee and council member reports. Item number 1, Parks Committee.
And that's you.
No, that's you. No, it's Mr. Bucks.
What you parks people do?
I wasn't there.
Oh,
He wasn't even there.
So, the Parks Committee met on May 19th. Several topics that we discussed. One was a security system, installing a security system in the sports complex, cemetery, Centennial Park, and Washington Park. Public Works Supervisor Stump provided us with a couple different options. The committee's recommendation would be going with the lower quote from Verkada for a total of $69,978.15. This is all cloud-based Wi-Fi where he would be able to see what's going on. The information that he presented to us was pretty impressive what these cameras can do, getting license plates. It sounds like it could actually benefit the police department in some aspects as well for certain things. So I guess we'll stop there. Greg, anything you want to add to that?
Mr. Mayor, Councilman, last year we had enough vandalism to pay for the system. Also, we paid $70,000. Everything is warranted for 10 years. So if the camera's damaged, it quits working, they'll replace it. Their warranty was really good. Their system is fairly robust. It's also the same system that the Weston County School District number 1 uses. So we've had some background, we've been able to talk to some people that have it currently, and they really like it. I think it would benefit the city to do this, if anything, to deter the $70,000 in damages we received last year.
do we have the money to
It's
do this?
pretty sad that we have to spend $70,000 on cameras.
We have,
We have to, but we can't let them tear up our buildings, you know?
Well, how are the cameras gonna keep them from tearing the buildings
We're
up?
gonna find out who they are,
And then what?
and
And then what?
we have a police force.
And then what? Who's gonna pay for it?
What?
The damages.
That's a big
Certainly not the
question.
people that are doing the
I'll
damaging.
pass the legal question on to our city council, city council.
If they're prosecuted, there's something called a victims' compensation fund, which depending on how much, of course, you know, it's a grown man who works at the refinery, obviously he'd probably be able to pay something. If it's a teenager,
That's my point.
You can work.
Huh? The grown man that works at the refinery is not gonna be damaging stuff.
it's already,
Chief?
Yes,
When
sir.
you've worked in other communities, have you found that cameras in place anywhere might be a deterrent?
Yes.
Thank you.
So the people need to know that the cameras are there, right, to deter them.
Yeah.
Are you gonna advertise it? Well, there's cameras up there, worse, don't do anything.
They can tell.
Put signs out in the areas that says under serious under surveillance.
Put sign up. Smile.
I thought you did that.
Councilman, no, I have not. We do not have any signs up currently. The baseball groups at the sports complex have put signs up there, but we don't.
I thought you said at one time that there was some cameras that were damaged.
There, no. Well, trail cams.
Exactly.
Trail cams, but they're on the ground, they're easily reachable. These, we're looking at that, the cemetery one, we're looking at a 20-foot mast in order to get it up high enough to see over the trees and then be able to see everything we want to. Washington Park, same thing, it's a mast sticking up in the air to be able to view the entire area. The ones we had were at ground level trying to catch the license plate, and it's a $100 game camera you can buy from Walmart.
Mr. Mayor, if I may, to expound on my answer to your question, Councilman Voss, the deterrent effect comes primarily from the camera being used to catch them, and then they go through the prosecution process, and that is where the deterrent effect comes from. If they are more frequently captured and prosecuted, even if we don't necessarily get the restitution out of them anywhere short of 30 years or whatever it takes them to pay for it, nonetheless, it is still a good deterrent. And depending on the amount of damage, some of these cases that Greg has talked about are well over the felony threshold of damage. So it's a pretty good deterrent to not become a convicted felon if you see all your friends getting prosecuted for it. Much better than when you see all your buddies getting away with it. They are part of the process of deterrence, for sure.
And Greg, we have the money in your department now to buy this? What are we gonna get? We have a grant lady. Can she get us a grant?
We can try it. Problem is the price is going up after the end of this week. So.
Well, how can you ask us to spend money we don't have?
I don't have a good answer for that.
6 months savings cash.
What's the increase
in the city?
A week?
Actually, I don't.
Mr. Mayor, I
Is it significant?
I think so, but I really couldn't tell you without getting you.
I mean, council, I'm personally tired of seeing the vandalism that's going on in our community. Toilets being broken, slides being damaged. We paid almost $20,000 to replace a slide because some folks decided that was worth breaking it. I get tired of seeing vandalism that's going on in our community and not having an answer for it. I think cameras are an answer. I don't know if we don't have it in the budget and we don't have a pot of money sitting around that hasn't been touched to pay for the equipment that we can move on this tonight. But I'd really like to,
If moderate Republicans are their dislike for Freedom Caucus is enough that they'll actually vote for a Democrat. I mean, there is that potential.
Yeah, it's just because to me, and I watch all of these public meetings, and you don't see the moderates at the meetings.
No.
You don't see those people that sit on the middle of the fence at the meetings. They're not passionate enough about anything to show up to the meetings, to stand on a podium and say something. You have to be extremely passionate about politics to be willing to put yourself out there and to be judged in that sense. And I don't think you see the people that ride the middle of the fence doing that because they ride the middle of the fence. So they're like, I really don't care either way. It doesn't impact my life directly. I'm not planning on getting an abortion. So why do I care about what the abortion law is? I don't own a bunch of land, so property tax doesn't hurt my feelings. I think there's a lot of those people, the young people in Wyoming.
It's just like the underpass tunnel and all of the vandalism that's been going on down there. I mean, and I got the paint on the pallet, you know, and we just haven't done the work yet. Oh, by the way, Public Works Supervisor, is the pressure washer trailer in operation? Or
Mr. Mayor, yes.
okay, so we can get that paint stripped. Okay, that's off subject, I'm sorry. So without a way forward, without a pot of money sitting around, we can't really run this tonight. So should we try to look into asking the grant writer to look for some funding for us, or what's the council's pleasure?
I would think that we could ask Beth if she could maybe find us some funding, and maybe even with the companies that sell the equipment. Sometimes they have special deals. Put it into Newcastle Free and you can use it in your advertising.
Does the Parks Committee have anything else?
Yeah,
After you visit this one? Sorry.
Our second item that we discussed was the backyard park project update, providing the grant application. There's going to be a site visit scheduled for June 12th at 12 p.m. So if anybody's available, go look. South Summit Avenue Pathway Project update was, you have anything else further than the backyard park?
Mr. Mayor, Councilman Miller.
Council, I plan on attending the meeting. And then if we're gonna have a quorum present, then we need to have, post it as a public meeting.
The South Summit Avenue Pathway Project update provided following the pre-application meeting and site visit with Whiteout. The application period opens today. So bearing what comes out of the public hearing, we'll see where we go moving forward with that. Anything further with that?
What opens today exactly?
The application period for that pathway for South Summit.
Oh, to get money?
Washington Park restroom, Public Works Supervisor proposed applying for a grant in the next funding cycle to install a restroom at Washington Park. Proposed facility would be a single unisex all-weather precast restroom. We discussed proposal and expressed agreement to move forward with the grant application. Anybody else from the committee have anything?
As long as it's not from Idaho.
Greg, do you have anything?
Mr. Mayor, Councilman, most likely we would do CXT like we did this time.
And then the last thing that we discussed was Maverick maintenance auditorium area. There was a citizen's request to groom and maintain the lot behind Maverick as part of his auditorium. Supporting documents indicate that the area is not part of the arboretum. And this particular individual has presented us with a whole laundry list of concerns and issues that she would like us to look into. And something that we discussed on this one is supporting document to go along with this. Greg, you have some of this information.
Mr. Mayor, Councilman, yes. We actually have council minutes from.
So while he's pulling that up.
June 17th of 2019 and 2020. The big concern of the council at the time, and it states after much discussion and assurances, the city resources weren't used and the city would not be obligated to maintain the facilities. So it was a concern of the council at that time, and here we are 6 years later.
And where this is a lot of this is like the statues on Stampede, the historical marker for the old corrals where the old mill inn used to sit. These are two of the areas that were of concern that they felt that the city needed to do something with, that clearly indicated prior to me and others on the council that was discussed that there would be no maintenance on behalf of the city once these were in place. And now they're coming back and saying that we need to maintain.
Do we have to send them a copy of our minutes, what back then when we approved it originally?
More so, my deal with the committee was to find out how the committee and the council would like to proceed.
And since that meeting, we have received another memo from this individual with more concerns, repeat concerns.
We're sorry.
So as far as the Stampede one goes, I would say that based off the information that Public Works Supervisor Stump presented, that we send her a letter and say, you know, when this was proposed, it was proposed as no maintenance, and that's kind of where we stand.
Statute. Right?
Yeah, Mr. Mayor, Councilman, yes. The statutes in the original project proposal stated that there was no maintenance needed. So again, we're getting evidence that we're not responsible for maintaining it, but we're being told we need to maintain it.
So, I guess council, my take on this is that this specific individual constantly files complaints or brings it to the council's attention with letters and writing, but it isn't a concern that's echoed by many people in the community. It's this one specific individual all the time. It's not echoed by anybody else in the community that I know of. So nobody else is writing letters constantly complaining about these specific items. It's just one individual. So I think that we should stick to the minutes that we have on hand, and if more people start coming forward with concerns about these specific issues, then maybe we take action as a council. But when it's one specific person time and time again, I don't believe that it's the responsibility of the council to act. It's not making an impact across our community, it's just making one individual happy. So, I don't know, does the council want to address these issues that have been brought to the Parks Committee?
Had they been a part of things that we own, or as far as the city park or something like that, without minutes like that, I'd say, yeah, we should address them. But no, I agree with you, that we should let this go on by and see if it becomes an issue, it becomes an issue.
Okay, does anybody else on the council have anything to add so we can move on from this topic? Does anybody have anything to add? Hearing nothing, community, you have anything to add? Okay. Was there anything else from the Parks Committee? Okay. We'll go ahead and move on to committee council member reports. Item number 2, sanitation committee.
What am I supposed to say?
Oh, wait.
I don't remember.
No. So, yeah, the sanitation committee met tonight to talk about the closure and transfer of the compost program to the county. Public Works Supervisor provided us with some information what's going on with some of the tree limbs, and it seems as though we're getting out of state tree limbs and stuff in there, and it's just getting larger and larger. The committee discussed putting a July 1st close date on the compost and transferring everything to the county. And then they will continue to process what's there when they have time.
Does the committee, is that the recommendation of the committee?
That is the recommendation of the committee.
Okay, does the council entertain a motion to close the compost pile and transfer to the county on July 1st?
July 1st.
I'll make a motion
Motion properly seconded. Is there any discussion?
I'd like to know, go ahead.
I just want to be sure, I guess, you know, this has always been the path that we wanted to do quite a while before we re-upped our lease, when Bob was here, to turn this over. You know, thinking about this in the last several weeks when we talked about this one, and then I was apprised of an issue today, it's probably going to be something that's going to go on with other people in the community and other places. We don't have a place for them to dump grass and everything to be able to compost. You have citizens around that are telling other citizens to go dump their grass in a ditch over by the school and there are other places. So, you know, is that going to come to a common theme?
That's
Get rid of it.
Going,
exactly what I think.
if we go back in time to attorney, with Mr. Moore and Mr. Spence, the former attorney's name?
Heck.
Yeah, no,
Gypsy.
but they put this together, and that's because people were leaving the limbs out of the driveways, and not driveways, but alleyways, and the grass was stacking up. I've had several people come up to me and say, hey, what are we gonna do with our grass? And the people that mow the lawns saying, what are we gonna do with the grass?
When life gets tough, you don't have to face it alone. Call 988 for confidential, free support 24/7.
I've had several people come up to me and say, hey, what are we gonna do with our grass? And the people that mow the lawns saying, what are we gonna do with the grass? And if it adds a 5-mile strip, each time that somebody gets their yard mowed, it's gonna be a big expense. I don't know if we should close this compost pile.
So, a little bit more context to this. As Public Works Supervisor has been looking into this, the land where that is currently sitting is questionable as to who owns it. We haven't played a lease in it for quite a while, and that land has changed hands several times. And right now, it's questionable who even owns that land. And with the infrastructure that's being built out there, the liability with what's being built out close nearby.
Is there anything that we could do to provide something? Because I've been questioned too. And, my big thing is to clean up our town, and now this is just, I'm thinking, are they gonna just start throwing stuff?
When we say we're gonna turn it over to the county, what does that mean?
The county will start running it.
The county's gonna move the compost pile off the new landfill.
Yeah, there won't be anything in town.
So there won't be, anybody can just take their stuff out there and drop it off? Yeah.
So will it be free?
So,
Mr. Mayor, Councilwoman, yes.
So they can take.
so it just moved, it didn't die?
Correct. We're just closing ours. We won't manage it. The county will manage it.
Right,
Okay, so-
but they're not gonna charge us,
So,
or charge my lawnmower guy.
Mr. Mayor, Councilwoman, no. They did not indicate they were planning on charging for entry unless there was stuff in there with it that does not belong.
Right.
If you got a rip ball that comes into the landfill, yes, you're gonna get charged for that. Where right now, the rip ball, we end up paying to haul off between 8 and 10 truckloads a year, just rip balls. And it now becomes an expense to do that versus just.
I mean, there's quite a few guys around, or people around town that do this for a living. And
They're just gonna have to alter their practice and then drive a little bit further south on Highway 85 and dump it at the new facility. But there's already been an uproar on Facebook about this, and there's people that are upset that we're talking about closing the facility. But then, Public Works was dealing with, you know, they pushed the pile up, and then people hear that it's closing right now. So they've inundated it with load after load, and they're piling it all the way out to the county road. So there's going to be a learning curve, and I guess, Councilwoman McCauley, if we get to a juncture where we're starting to see limbs and grass dumped all over our community, then we might have to come up with a plan to address that. But the hope is, I think right now, is that people just get used to the fact that they're gonna have to drive a little bit further out and dump their grass. So it is an inconvenience, but it's been a long time in coming.
Mr. Mayor, another safety hazard is fire. If that brush pile catches that fire, with all the structures out there and other businesses close, it's going to be a liability.
I think it's okay, we're not, it's not dying, we're just moving. I think that makes sense.
So, since we're still in the discussion phase, Public Works Supervisor, could you guys make a post after we decide on this matter on Facebook so that people are informed about what's going on with this?
Because July 1st isn't very far away.
Mr. Mayor, Council, that was one of the discussions at the committee meeting, was getting the information out as soon as possible.
I'm getting tagged on Facebook and I didn't respond, but I knew that no action had, plus I just didn't want to get eviscerated on Facebook. So, anyway, is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed signify by saying nay. Motion carries. We're going to close the compost pile July 1st, and it'll be moving out to the county facility. Moving on to item number 3 under committee council member report, streets committee.
Mr. Mayor, I can speak on that if you want.
Okay, sounds good.
We met tonight, we discussed a few items. We discussed the crosswalk at Dan Avenue. We've had people request extra signals, extra signage to help show the crosswalk with somebody going through it. People have to stop. It is a state law to do that. Before I proceeded forward with doing much research on it or begin talking with YDOT and putting in applications, I wanted to visit with the committee to find out whether or not that was something the city wanted to proceed. And the committee wants me to further investigate it, so we will continue down that road. We also discussed the easement behind South Summit that I forget the gentleman's name, was here a few council meetings ago. We've been doing research on that and investigating it. It is part of the original plat for that area, so we do own an easement behind those properties. We also believe there's probably a sewer line going one direction or another in the middle house. So we do need to maintain that as an easement. Now, we're not necessarily responsible to maintain the vegetation and fences and walls and stuff like that, because the adjacent landowner is actually required to maintain that, to address that issue. Our next topic of discussion was the entrance section of Sage Street. Since we have put the sewer line into that area and now have full city services to those lots, we've had people requesting who is going to build a road and what's the road going to look like when we're done. The committee discussed it. The committee felt the best option would be to have the city build the road and make it gravel. It did not make sense to have a single paved road in between gravel on all sides. So we patterned it because of the original developer not paving the roads properly and that kind of stuff. It was felt that we could go ahead and gravel the road and builders ourselves.
Greg, how many, that opens up 5 lots, doesn't it, 5 homes?
Mr. Mayor, Councilman, I believe so, yes.
So, and there was some interest in those lots and building there.
Mr. Mayor, yes, it does open up the opportunity for more housing. The committee then began just talking about snow removal prior to next winter and some of our policies and procedures that we'll be working on in the near future. Mr. Mayor, that's all I have for the streets committee.
Okay, so I mean, the Sage Street improvements, we're talking about improving the road in-house.
Mr. Mayor, correct.
Okay.
Right now it's grass and open drainage. We would improve the road to include gravel base, fix the drainage to where we can gain access and from either end essentially build a gravel road. If that's a pleasure of the council. It was a pleasure of the committee.
Okay, so that was the recommendation of the committee, was to improve the unimproved section of Sage Street. So does the council entertain a motion to improve the unimproved section of Sage Street?
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion properly seconded. Is there any discussion? Is there any discussion? Is there any discussion? And then, Counselor, I live on Sage Street. Should I recuse myself? Probably safe. Okay. I will recuse myself from this vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Okay. All those opposed signify by saying nay. The motion carries. Will improve the unimproved portion of Sage Street in-house. And then was there any other recommendations in that committee report?
We did not have any other recommendations other than the committee wants me to further investigate the crosswalk at the end of the road.
Okay. I just want to make sure I didn't miss anything. Does anybody have anything for the water and sewer? And we'll move on to item number 5. This is just an event.
Mr. We're on water, so.
We just.
Oh, I got a check mark on my
Streets,
agenda.
now we do water and sewer.
I camouflaged and that's okay, I apologize, council. I apologize, public. Okay, we're on to item number 4, water and sewer committee from streets. Okay, I apologize.
Okay, moving on from streets.
To water and sewer.
To the water and sewer, so we met May 21st to discuss a few items, several items actually. So first one we discussed was the water rate adjustments. That was something, we looked at, that 4% is what we kind of looked at to try to make sure that we maintain correct income and everything, expenditures and everything for what we have to do for all of our upcoming projects, proposed things, and throughout the years. So Steve Dietrich was going to assist in preparation of the necessary materials, and we all agreed that this was the approach that we needed to take to keep things moving forward. The next item was water tank cleaning and inspection. Tank 2, it was due for all of 3 tanks are due for inspection. During the discussion, that public works supervisor recommended that we clean tank 2. This provides an update for the condition and allows for any of the sample coating to be taken so we can assess what the coating is on the inside of the tanks. So it would be basically the recommendation that we would clean at least tank 2. At least all 3 tanks need to be
Remember, tank 2 was going to be a lesser cleaning because we're going to replace it next year. Right?
Mayor, Councilman, we're not going to replace it, we're going to rehabilitate it.
Okay, rehabilitating it next year.
So all 3 tanks are gonna need inspections. So we recommended that we basically have Greg look at the cost and everything for the divers and everything to be able to enter these tanks and give us an inspection report, especially give us some more information on tank 2 as we're doing the proposed work for that. Any other additions you guys had that we talked about?
No recommendations from the committee?
Well, we've got a couple, we have the chlorination equipment for well number 2, but the building that is there now will not house the actual chlorination equipment, and it's not big enough to move around in there, so we're gonna pour a pad and build a little building outside. That's about all there. Now, for the people out there, you tell them all about their water softeners and RO units, please, Mr. Stone.
Council, Mayor, Councilman, yes, we've been investigating the effects of the chlorination since we already had before on water softeners and reverse osmosis systems. Depending on the level of the amount of chlorine in the water will depend on the influence it has on the water softeners and RO units. With the levels we are talking about doing, which is below 1 part per million, there'll be minimal amount of impact on water softeners and RO units. It will shorten the life a little bit, but not enough to be noticeable, as long as we stay within normal municipal limits.
Then tank 2 project update basically is at the next meeting, we should have all of the engineering proposal and agreement from Morrison Merrill to be able to present, and just kind of look over the everything for the drinking water statement volume fund application and requirements. The other one was we looked at some chapter 26 revisions, and looking at the revision that was there, recommended update to the chapter 26 by the committee members. Didn't see any other things in that chapter 26 that we needed to do with it.
Mr. Mayor, Councilman, these are the ones we discussed at the last meeting, so.
Yeah. Do we need a motion to do that number, chapter 26?
Mr. Mayor, Councilman, I believe we did that earlier.
We did that.
Okay, we did that.
This was just to clarify.
Yeah. I think we need a motion for the tank cleaning and building for the chlorination, right? For the
Mr. Mayor, Councilman, the tank cleaning, we will get a proposal, get a request for proposal out first, and we will get the proposals and present the proposals after July 1st.
The same way with the additional building for the chlorination.
Mr. Mayor, Council, we can move on yes, because I'm still getting quotes. I just received another one today, so next meeting we should have the prices for the chlorination.
Okay.
Mr. Mayor, Council, the only thing we need probably to do is to authorize the mayor to sign the engineering agreement with Morrison Merrill. Both Engineer Dietrich and myself reviewed it. It's pretty standard information. Everything they have in their proposal that would be different from any normal engineering proposal we presented last meeting. It was the tank 2 rehab scope and fee letter, which everything in the scope and fee letter still meets qualifications, and pricing is within normal parameters. So I would recommend council allow the mayor to sign the agreement with Morrison Merrill for the tank 2 rehabilitation project.
Does the council entertain a motion for me to sign the agreement with Morris and Minerally for tank 2 rehabilitation.
Second.
The motion properly seconded. Is there any discussion? Is there any discussion? Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed signify by saying nay. Motion carries.
Mr. Mayor, Council, thank you.
Anything further from the Water Sewer Committee? Okay. So now we'll really move on to the item number 5. So there was an event application. It looks like the Catholic Church is going to have a Eucharist procession to celebrate the 75th anniversary of the church building. And it's going to take place on Main Street, go down Seneca Avenue, and then end at the Corpus Christi Catholic Church. So that event is proposed for Sunday, June 7th, 2026. So it sounds like it'll be a great event, and we'll get that signed and provide it back to the folks that want to put it on. So just for informational. Any questions? I think it's great that the Catholic Church is turning 75.
Yeah,
Pretty
it's
amazing.
I was just a baby.
Moving on to department head reports, we'll start with item number 1, Public Works Supervisor Greg Stone.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. My first item, Dow Park restroom. We have a restroom. It's sitting on the ground. The conduit is in. We are getting things hooked up. It probably will not be open until after July 1st. We still have concrete pour and ramps, ADA ramps and such.
It truly does take time.
It'll be there for fall
We
festival.
did good, Fred.
Yes, the Parks Committee definitely picked proper colors for the year. Blends in nicely. The 2025 improvements project, one on East Wentworth and Sonora. It's progressing along. We've had some issues with some rain that we've received, but nothing out of the norm. The contractor's still moving forward.
It looks like it's going fast, I think.
Yeah, it is. They're still within their scheduled time. We're actually, tomorrow we get rid of the one manhole that the whole project was designed to get rid of, so.
Oh, way.
Yes. Mr. Mayor, if you'd like, I can give you a call and you can come get a rock.
I
I
love
want
that,
the trash,
actually.
trail shell.
The South Summit Pathway Project, as I discussed earlier, we will have a public input comment meeting June 23rd, 2026 at 6 p.m. at the council chambers. The Public Works report, we are looking at a different type of patching machine. We're going to lease it after July 1st. It would take place of the rental we do with the Durapatcher. It's a much cleaner type of patching versus the Durapatcher that created a lot of dust. This one also had, we've been watching this for about 2 years. I got a demo of it up in Sundance with White Dot. White Dot has purchased these machines and have been using them around even the interstates. So if you go to a bridge and you see a 4-foot wide strip, 20 foot long, 30 foot long, side by side, this is the machine they're using. So we're going to demo it and release it for a month, see what we think of it for patching some of the low spots and stuff. When we met with the Parks Committee, Mr. Mayor, we discussed the 250th banners for Main Street. We did go ahead and, because it was time sensitive to get them ordered before they show up, so they'll show up before the 4th of July, we had to go ahead and proceed with the purchase. We purchased 32 banners. There are 4 different styles, 4 different banners. Cost was $2,336. We have a donation from Councilwoman McCauley for $1,000 for the banners. They are ordered.
Thank you, Councilwoman McCauley, that's great.
That's from the group.
My next item, we have received 2 houses recently at the landfill number 2 and part of the building from Main Street, West Main Street on the west end of town. Other than that, I stand for any questions.
Does council have any questions for Public Works Supervisor? Hearing none, thanks, Greg. Moving on to item number 2, Stephen Dietrich, the engineer. He is under the weather tonight. So, council has a copy of his report if you'd like to review it. Moving on to item number 3, Police Chief Derek Thompson.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. First item are the calls for service between May 15th and May 29th. Newcastle Police Department 142, we made 3 custodial arrests. We issued 8 criminal citations. Weston County Sheriff's Office 129, Upton Police Department 66, Newcastle Volunteer Fire Department 7, Weston County Fire Protection District 5, Upton Volunteer Fire Department 5, Newcastle Ambulance 26, 14 in Newcastle, 8 in the county, 3 in Upton, and 1 in Custer County, and Upton Ambulance 6. I'm sure there were probably more things that I needed to report, but it's been a little busy and my mind's all over, so that's all I have on my report for this evening.
Does anybody have any questions for Chief Thompson? Hearing none, thanks, Chief.
Thank you.
Moving on to item number 4, Attorney Dublin Hughes.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, Council. All I have for the council is that I should have the edits on tree ordinances, the grass nuisance ordinance, and hopefully, I think there's one other street ordinance as well as a fire department sort of section edits that I need to bring to the council. I'm hoping to get all of that in next meeting, along with any of the edits to the American Publishing edits that came in from American Legal Publishing. I will be meeting with Greg at some point, and I suspect Stacy on some of the language in terms of basically how she wants to be designated. They use some odd language in there on that. And then also with the police chief, and so we'll be able to kind of figure out exactly what verbiage needs to be in there and then what else needs to be added. But that's all I have for council tonight.
Okay, any questions for Attorney Dublin Hughes? Thanks, Colin. Moving on to item number 5, Clerk Treasurer Stacy Haggerty.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I have nothing to report.
No report. Okay. I have reason to believe that the executive session that we're going to go into here might take a little while. Does the council want to take a brief recess?
Mr. Mayor, you're missing claims against the city.
Oh, yeah. Well, I want to see if we want to take a brief recess before, so we can go to the restroom or whatever. Does anybody need to? Okay, let's do claims first, and then we'll take a short recess before we go to our executive session.
Your Honor, I move that this
Okay, thank you for excusing yourself, Councilman Kennedy.
Your Honor, I move that we, as a city council, pay the city's bill.
Is there a second?
Second.
We have a motion properly seconded to pay the claims against the city dated June 1st, 2026. Is there any discussion? Any discussion? Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed signify by saying nay. Motion carries. We pay the claims against the city. Let's go ahead and take a short 5-minute recess.
Do we have to do that?
And then we'll go into our executive session.
This is one of those.
Move into executive session, reference Wyoming statute 16-4-405A II personnel.
So moved. Second.
We have a motion properly seconded to go into executive session, reference personnel. Is there any discussion? Any discussion? Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed signify by saying nay. Yeah.
At 8:59?
At, at 8:59.
No.
Motion to exit executive session and return to, our regularly scheduled council meeting.
So moved.
Is there a second? Second. We have a motion properly seconded to exit executive session. And we, is there any discussion? Any discussion? Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Entered, regular session, at 9:18 PM. Does the council entertain a motion to terminate Sergeant Nicholas Kaminsky, position with the city of Newcastle?
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion properly seconded to terminate Sergeant Nicholas Kaminsky's position with the city of Newcastle. Is there any discussion?
Is there an effective date?
You can read today.
Effective immediately. Any discussion? Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed signify by saying nay. Motion carries. Sergeant Nicholas Kaminsky is no longer in the employ of the city of Newcastle, effective immediately. And with that, does the council entertain a motion to adjourn?
Second.
We have a motion properly seconded to adjourn. We are adjourned at 9:19 PM.